Here's a clip of Nick Cannon saying some really wild and really racist things about white people. It's one thing to uh, point out racist white people, but to start claiming that all white people act a certain way because of either genetic defects or something is just doing the same thing that white supremacists and stuff are doing. Stand up to the systems and stuff that help um, continue the existence of racism, but there is no need to become racist yourself. Um, there are there's going to be all groups of people that are going to be racist towards various groups of people, but it's not the entire group of people. It's just various individuals. Sometimes they do create systems to help benefit themselves. Like in the United States, the U.S. system is there to benefit white people, but not all white people in the United States are racist. There's uh, there's white people all over the United States that are looking to end the oppression of POCs and minorities, but they have not become white racist people. They're not. They haven't become racist towards white people themselves. They're just tired of the racist white people that are using the system to oppress others.
It comes with soul that we call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters. That's the melanin that connects us. So
Right.
the people that don't have it have are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less. And where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around
Okay.
to
Okay, okay. Let's talk about what he has said already. Melanin equates to the soul, and those who lack melanin, or a little less, or people who do not have souls. And usually, when people talk about souls, those who have souls are human. Those who don't have souls are inhuman. Those with souls can show compassion. Those without souls are basically savage animals. Um, so far, he's already off on a pretty bad start, in my opinion.
Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting out of fear. They're acting out of low self-esteem. They're acting out of a deficiency. So therefore, the only
Okay, so in his mind, people were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, or the Caucasus region, where we do get the name Caucasian from. Um, that's not actually what happened in history. What happened in history is people ended up dispersing and traveling, and after uh, people reached the Caucasus area and started living there, their bodies adapted to the lack of sunlight, as in Africa there's an extreme amount of sunlight, which is why the uh, dark melanin is needed. Melanin acts as sunscreen, a natural type of sunscreen to help block UV light, as well as produce a vitamin that humans need. If I remember correctly, vitamin K, or maybe it's vitamin D. I can't remember right off the bat. But after living in the Caucasus area, people started adapting to that, And the adaptation that gave the best benefit was in a decreasing amount of melanin. That allowed people to gain the benefits that is brought from sunlight, uh, vitamin production, because when there is less sunlight, darker skinned people have a harder time producing said vitamin from sunlight um, compared to lighter skinned people with no melanin and the same area of decreased sunlight. Um, it's easily explained as to uh, why there we have the genetics for, or why there are people with dark skin and people with light skin. It's just a matter of uh, where they live and how much sunlight that area gave them.
The only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
Fight or
pillage
flight, okay.
in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages. They
Okay, so because they didn't have melanin, they had to be savages in order to fight and survive. Which I guess he's claiming that black people never fought each other, which on the African continent, in ancient Africa, the tribes did fight each other. Um, so I'm not sure what history he's looking at. If he's a black Hebrew Israelite, I know he's talking to one. He might be going off a bit of revisionist history, um, which there's a lot of people, a lot of groups that try to uh, change history a bit to fit their own beliefs. Um, though, history is written by the victors.
had to be barbaric. They had, because they're in these Nordic mountains, they're in these rough torrential environments, so they're acting as animals.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages, and then they built up such this I don't want to say
White people are the true savages because they lived in the Caucasus area, developed less pigment, and that made them animalistic. That's not history. It's not even true to the closest point whatsoever. Um, Racist white people act like racist white people because they're racist. It's not because of any genetic thing. It's because they grew up with the belief that white people were superior. Um, Racism is learned behavior. It's not innate or inherent or genetic inside anybody. Um, and to go to this point of being this anti-white just pretty much makes you on par with white supremacist groups and the such. It's really not needed. Stand up to racist people. Don't become racist yourself. You can fight racism without becoming a racist.
a warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality.